So this is Krieg the Psycho, and his playstyle is all about risk versus reward and doing seemingly insane things. So there were two philosophies that went into Krieg. The first was, any enemy psycho you've ever met in the Borderlands franchise, you should be able to emulate their behavior in some way, or you should be encouraged to emulate the behavior. So we're talking suicide psychos, badass psychos, the burning psychos, that kind of stuff. The second bit of philosophy was that we should try to make the player want to do things they would never normally want to do. And one of those examples is the Hellborn tree. His entire Hellborn skill tree is all about, I want to light myself on fire. That's what he wants to do. It's not a bad thing, because when he gets lit on fire, he has skills that reduce all incoming damage and increase his weapon damage and make him burn things better and all that kind of stuff. Then we have another tree called Bloodlust, and that one's about, I want to be dealing damage all the time. It doesn't even matter how much damage I'm dealing, I just need to be dealing it. And that's an extension of kind of the anarchy tree that Gage the Necromancer had, where you got stacks of anarchy. This time you get stacks of Bloodlust, and you get that by damaging an opponent. It doesn't even matter by how much you damage them, you just have to damage them. So you want to be constantly doing, basically just chipping at people's health with SMGs to keep your Bloodlust stacks at 100, which gives you additional weapon swap speed and magazine size and extra damage reduction when you're in your action skill, and all that stuff. And his action skill, X Rampage, is really cool because we don't want you to ever be taking cover or waiting for your shields to recharge or playing conservatively. We want you to be acting like a psycho and being right in guys' faces. So his action skill, X Rampage, is he takes out that enormous Buzz Axe, and if he can get an enemy, if he can kill an enemy with a Buzz Axe, then he gets all of his health back. So every other character in the game, if things are going bad and they're low on health, they go, oh shit, and they hide behind cover and wait for their shields to recharge, and they play really conservatively. Krieg goes, fuck it, and then runs right into the middle of combat and starts chopping dudes up, and that's how he gets his health back. He has to be aggressive to be defensive, which is cool. And that really funnels into his mania tree, his middle skill tree, which is my favorite, and that's all about, I want to be hurt. I want to have my shields down, and I want people to be shooting me, because his skill, his action skill, generally has a really long cooldown, but every time he takes damage, he gets a little bit of that cooldown sped up. And there's a skill called Fuel the Rampage, which speeds it up dramatically if you're getting hit a lot. And in addition to that, it allows you to take friendly fire damage. So you can say, okay, everybody, we're about to go into a big fight. Now everybody shoot me, and all your friends will shoot you and get your action skill ready, and they'll take off a lot of your health and stuff, but you'll be ready for the next bit. There's also a skill in there called Light the Fuse, where instead of having to fight for your life, the normal one where you're on your knees like shooting at a guy to get your second wind, you instead become a suicide psycho. You take out a big bundle of dynamite, and you can toss individual 6 dynamite at dudes, and then finally detonate yourself to do a massive amount of damage. And if you kill anybody at any point during that, then you come back out of that state and you get to be fighting dudes. In addition to that, there's a skill called Silence the Voices, which massively increases your melee damage, but at the expense of giving you a 12% chance to get confused and hit yourself in the face with your own axe, which does a lot of damage. And then in addition to that, there's a skill called Badass, it's called Release the Beast. And if you activate action skill with less than 1/3 of your health remaining, you turn into a crazy badass psycho with the enormous arm and the mutated sort of proportions, and you get all your health back and you become super awesome. So what can happen is, I'll be fighting a dude, I'll try to melee him, I'll accidentally hit myself in the face, which causes me to go into fight for your life mode, which causes me to bring out a bunch of dynamite, which I then use to destroy a bunch of people, and then I detonate myself and get back out of down state, and then I have less than 1/3 of my health remaining, so I turn into a badass monster. So within maybe 5-10 seconds, you go, hit yourself in the face, enormous bombs everywhere, and now I'm a monster. Like, the loop of crap you can do as him is just bananas.
Wow, yeah. I'll use that in its own segment. That was incredible.
May have done that one before.